Infrared saunas. You've seen them, right? They are absolutely everywhere. I bet your favorite influencer is sitting in one right now, promising you the world, weight loss, a full-body detox, you name it. It's easily one of the hottest trends in wellness, but it's also one of the most debated.
So what's the deal? Are infrared saunas really the miracle cure they're cracked up to be? That's the big question we're tackling today. So let's get into it and, separate the science from the sweat.
Okay, first up, the promises. The list of benefits you hear from companies and wellness gurus is just incredible. You can drop pounds without lifting a finger, soothe sore muscles, sweat out all the bad stuff, boost your immune system, melt away stress, and even get better skin. I mean, it sounds a little too good to be true, doesn't it?
And, well, maybe it is, because this is where the hype slams right into reality. As sauna reviewer Matt Justice puts it, everybody wants that $10,000 performance for a budget price, and that's just not how it works. This right here is the fundamental conflict we're going to unpack.
So before we really start digging in and putting these claims to the test, let's just make sure we're all on the same page.
What is the infrared sauna promise anyway?
So you know your traditional Finnish sauna, right? The kind that heats the air around you to these crazy hot temperatures? Well, an infrared sauna is different. It uses infrared lamps to warm your body directly. This means it can make you sweat like crazy at a much lower, more comfortable temperature. We're talking 113 to 140 degrees Fahrenheit. And this direct heating method, that's the secret sauce, the key to all those specific health claims.
Okay, so we've got the hype and we've got the tech. Now for the fun part. Let's see what happens when we throw some actual controlled science at these claims.
A recent study did exactly that. Picture this. Researchers took 40 female athletes who are already going through a tough 6-week training program. They split them in two. One group hopped into an infrared sauna for 10 minutes after every workout. The other group, the control group, didn't. The goal was super simple. Did the sauna actually make them stronger, more powerful, or help them build more muscle?
Now, don't let all these charts and graphs scare you. At first glance, a lot of the results on the right, like for sprinting, look pretty similar. Both groups got better. But direct your eyes to the charts on the left, specifically chart F, which is the counter-movement jump. See that clearer separation between the scores for the IRS or sauna group? That's where things get interesting. And boom, this is what it all boils down to. The proof? The science says yeah, the sauna group did show a real significant improvement in power production on that specific jump test. The myth? That whole muscle growth claim, it didn't really pan out. I mean, yeah, both groups gained muscle from working out, but the sauna didn't add any extra benefit. So we'll give it 1 point for athletic performance, but a big miss on the muscle building front. Okay, so that's the lab. But what happens when you actually bring one of these things home? Let's switch gears from the perfect world of a scientific study to the messy reality of buying a budget sauna for your own house.
Let's take a look at a real-world review for a popular model from Costco. The scores here, they tell a story of compromise. Build quality, 6.5. It's probably not going to fall apart on you, but fit and finish, a 4.5. Ouch. We're talking sloppy cuts, parts that don't line up. Performance gets a 6.5 because, well, it works, but with a major flaw. You can see it's passable, but far from perfect.
And when you dig into the details, you really see the trade-offs. The good stuff is pretty basic, but hey, it's important. The wood's okay, you don't get any weird chemical smells, and it does make you sweat on your upper body. But then, you look at the bad list, and it's a bit longer. Shipping damage, crooked trim, a super confusing assembly. These are the corners that get cut to get that price tag under $2,000.
But honestly, the biggest compromise isn't a cosmetic flaw. It's the performance itself. As a reviewer, Matt Justice points out, the heater coverage is just bad. He says, quote, "The bottom half of my leg is basically from here down, it's cool, and my feet are totally dry, I'm not sweating." And that's a huge deal, right? If part of your body isn't even getting the infrared heat, are you really getting the full experience you paid for? All right, so beyond the shoddy build quality and, well, cold feet, there's another major concern that comes up with these budget models, EMFs, or electromagnetic fields. This is that invisible risk that a lot of health-conscious buyers are, frankly, pretty worried about.
So to understand the numbers here, we need a baseline. In your average room, the background magnetic field is super, super low, usually less than half a milligauss. Okay? Remember that number. That's normal.
Now, get ready for this. Inside some of these budget saunas, reviewers have measured readings of over 70 milligauss just inches away from your body.
That is a massive spike over the background level. And even though the specific reading was from an older model, even newer ones can have some pretty high numbers. It just goes to show you, at this price point, shielding you from this stuff isn't the top priority.
And look, it's not just independent testers raising these red flags. The manufacturer's own manual has some pretty stark warnings. They talk about the risk of hyperthermia, that's overheating, which can make you dizzy or even faint. They straight up say it's not recommended for people with heart conditions, pregnant people, or children. And definitely don't use it if you've been drinking. These are real, documented risks.
Okay, wow. We've been through a lot. We've seen the marketing promises, the hard scientific facts, the messy consumer reality, and the hidden safety risks. So let's pull all of this together and get to the big picture. What's the final verdict?
Here it is, the final tally. On the pro side, the science says it might give a little boost to a specific type of athletic power. It can definitely make you sweat, which feels great, and can help with relaxation or temporary pain. And of course, the budget models are way more affordable. But then there's the con side. Those huge claims about muscle growth and weight loss, the evidence from this study just isn't there. You're probably getting a product with sloppy quality control, you could be exposed to high EMF levels, and you have to be careful about real health risks like overheating.
Which leaves us with one last big question. It's not a simple yes or no on whether infrared saunas work, it's really about the trade-offs. Is a budget sauna's good enough sweat worth all the compromises in quality, performance, and maybe even safety? That's the real question to ask yourself before you jump on the next big wellness trend.